What is up, everybody? I'm Comic Man Andy. It is Wednesday, new comic book day. Get excited. Let's go over the pickups for this week and let's do a couple of reviews. So stay tuned. Once again, warning, viewer discretion is advised. Let's have some fun here. No holds barred. Spoilers. Yeah, if you guys haven't had a chance to read a handful of things today or haven't read stuff from last week, I'll go into a few spoilers. So a little bit of a lighter week. But hey, it's a rainy, dreary day out here. Grab something cold to drink, throw a pinkies out. Let's hang out. Let's talk comic books on the day before Thanksgiving. So gobble till you wobble, baby. What's good, everybody? Thanks for being here. We had Ruben Guzman hanging out, Bearded Avengers Assemble. Good to see you, man. Comic Book Poser was tailgating as well. Great to see you, dude. Hey, there's my mom. Thanks for hanging out. Tell everybody I said hi. We're setting up for tomorrow. Looking forward to some good food and some good times. The Vincent McLean, the comic machine, baby. Good to see you. Burke family, it's Morphin time. Absolutely. If you don't know who Burke family is, you should. And you should sub him up. He's doing a raffle right now for some awesome books. Hit him up. Check out his channel. Check out everything he's got going on, which is awesome. And, I got to do it right. We got the Herminio Reyes Jr. Good to see you, dude. J Hood Creative. It's an honor to have you here as well. A couple months worth of new books to read. Yeah, dude. I'm falling behind on some of my reading piles. Definitely going to make up for it the next couple of days. But I definitely made sure to sit down and read a bunch of books this morning after I picked everything up. You're welcome, man. You got some awesome content. Everybody check out Burke Family 54 Comics. Hashtag Stay Nasty. Check it out. Good stuff. But yeah, I'll start off like I always do at the very beginning. Thank everybody for being here, for watching. Is this your first time here? Consider liking, commenting, subscribing. Hit one of those reaction bells down below. Slap all the buttons on your way out the door at the end of the show here, hanging out with us. I'm going to start off with DC, and I'm picking up, once again, that death metal series, The Multiverse Who Laughs. I heard some good things from the guys at the LCS today. They said it was a fun read. That's definitely going on the reading pile, like all of the DC stuff. And one of these days, instead of DC being a backseat, I'm going to get through it. But like I said, X-Men. I'm working on the X-Men run and the X of Swords run. Speaking of which, that was it for DC. We're moving on to Marvel, and we're moving on to X-Men number 15, X of Swords 20 of 22. So we actually get to see 3 books come out this week for X of Swords, which mean that series, or not the series, but the crossover event has concluded. So I'm really excited to see what everybody else is going to say about that tonight or tomorrow while everybody's hanging out. And like I said, get caught up on my X-Men stuff so I can get into X of Swords the next 2 days. And Excalibur 15, part 21 of 22. Pretty smashing cover there. Gotta love Apocalypse, right? And staying on that X of Swords train, your LCS didn't get any DC today. That's no fun, man. That's no fun at all, actually. That's kind of tough. But X of Swords, the last part, Destruction, 22 of 22, is out. Now, normally I'm a cover A buyer. Why? I don't know. It's just a habit. I prefer to grab cover A's, read cover A's. If I'm buying variants or incentives or other covers, cover B's, it's because I'm falling in love with those. But generally, I like to pick up cover A's and read those and set those aside. The cover A was cool and all, but what was even cooler, wow, was that local comic shop day cover. And it says Nico down there. I'm not familiar with this artist, but hot damn. Dope cover for Destruction right there. So I made sure to grab that. My LCS was kind enough to have some extra copies. Not only did they fulfill their orders for their pull list people and the people that ordered those, but they had some extra copies of each laying around. Joe M., good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Appreciate your time. I will tell the little buddy that you said hi. And Vincent, yeah, I'm generally cover A's all the way. it's just there's so much going on with covers and with variants and everything right now, and sometimes it's easier just to go grab the cover A and read the book and see what happens. But yeah, Herminio, man, the LCSD covers, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of good ones, and we'll get there in just a bit. But sticking with Marvel, I was really excited to read Daredevil 24. All right, so last month, Daredevil 23 saw Matt Murdock building his case, and they're going to go to trial, right? And at the very end of that issue, we got to see Christine come back. Christine. I don't know the pronunciation of it. And hopefully you read the annual #1 because Mike Murdock made another appearance at the end of 23, and now you've got a legal team fighting for Daredevil that doesn't include Matt Murdock. You got Mike Murdock, and you got Christy, and you got Foggy, and Matt's not good with this. Matt's not happy about this. There's a lot going on. It's not the action-packed not episode, but read that I like from Daredevil, but this definitely propels the story. 23 and 24 were good. Glad I grabbed those. Reread 23 this morning. Read 24 as well. We'll see what happens. Spider-Man makes an appearance and hangs out in a corner and tries to look aggressive and all that crap. And I'm like, it's Spider-Man. Not the biggest fan of Spider-Man, but whatever. He rips a bank vault door off and tries to impress everybody in issue 23 and, tries to show off in front of the Kingpin and Izzy and some other people. But yeah, fun read. Once again, probably one of the best ongoing titles from Marvel right now. I'm a big fan of it. Like I said, I didn't grow up being a big fan of Daredevil, but this has been an awesome read. So yeah, Daredevil 24. That was the second book I sat down and read this morning. Even if you're not a Daredevil fan, Zdarsky's run on Daredevil has been phenomenal. There's lots of great praise online everywhere for it. But the first book, now that we're done with Marvel, the first book that I sat down and read, Department of Truth #3. So I don't think this is everybody's slice of pie, so to speak. But for me, I take it at face value. There's a lot of deeper meanings and a lot of things going on here that I'm picking up on, but I'm kind of not focusing on a lot. What I'm picking up on at the very face value of this book is it's like a modern day X-Files Mulder and Scully team up kind of aspect. And it's been a lot of fun. Very weird, very different. Tinian, I think, is doing really well with this. The covers have been phenomenal. I like the conspiracy aspect of it. I like the team of FBI agents, so to speak. A lot of fun. I'm going to stick with this. It's not a mini series. I'm understanding it's an ongoing series, so we'll see where this goes. Issue 3 had some variants that I didn't grab. Thought about it. Well, like I said, like a lot of us, holiday season, cutting back on pulls. How do you grab 3 more covers for this? I think I just enjoy the read for what it is at face value. Like I said, kind of a modern day X-Files kind of take, but it's where people perpetuate information, whether it's right or wrong. If they perpetuate that information enough, it becomes factual in that world. Like the world adjusts to what people believe, which is crazy. Issue 2 talked a lot about flat earthers, and about how some secret group had enough people believing that the world was flat that the world actually became flat, and these agents were trying to prevent that. Kind of dope, kind of interesting. Department of Truth #3. That was the first book I read. Daredevil was the second book. Third book I read. Now I missed out on this when it first came out. Sticking with Image here. I didn't read Monstrous earlier, but I grabbed cover A of this 2-issue series, Talk Stories, just to try to get an idea of what's going on. But the art is phenomenal in this. The art that you see on this cover, this amazing cover, is the art that you get inside of the series. Super, super amazing as far as my eye can see. I really enjoyed that. The story I didn't quite understand because I missed out on Monstrous to begin with. I've got a copy of the trade paperback sitting right over here, ready to go for Modern Men. Because at some point, Monstrous is going to hit Modern Men, and we're going to read that. Let me hit up this chat again really quick. Quite a few people you're here hanging out. Appreciate it. J Hood, second half of X of Swords. Like I was saying, I haven't dipped into the first half of X of Swords because I still have, I think, 2 issues of each of the X-Men titles left to read before X of Swords started. And I kind of wanted to sit down and read X of Swords start to finish without waiting. Find out. Like, John's Comics with Kids has been digging X of Swords, and I really want to see what's happening. But I also kind of, some of these crossover events sit better with me if I sit down and I read them from start to finish. So I kind of went that route, but I didn't want to wait for a trade paperback or an omnibus or anything. So I grabbed the singles. I grabbed the floppies as I could. Once again, Joe M., thanks for hanging out with us. Dude, yeah, that cover was dope. I would grab that if you can find it. Hey, Kenneth, good to see you, man. Hey, everyone that's here tonight. Gobble tell you wobble. It's Thanksgiving Eve. It's the biggest bar night of the week. If you are able to get out and enjoy it, please do and support those communities and support those people that are working tonight. Comic Book Poser says he's opening up Department of Truth right now. I dug it. I'm really curious on what you think. With as many different comic books as you read and your exposure level to comic books and how high it is, I'm curious on your opinion on Department of Truth and anybody else in the chat. You can leave a comment down below. Yeah, it talks about Flat Earth in the second issue. The first issue talked about Lee Harvey Oswald a bit. Second issue, that Flat Earth Society. Third issue, I'm not going to spoil it. It goes into some deeper things. I really like that kind of tag team FBI agents pairing up. Like, it's a modern day kind of X-Files with a slightly different take. When the stuff that happens and enough people believe in that, it becomes factual in the world, which is pretty crazy. It's a pretty phenomenal writing from Tinian, I think. It's got a lot of layers and a lot of depth to it. Check it out. Joe M's loving Department of Truth. Thanks, man. And moving along here. Wow, I'm already 12 minutes in. This is going really fast. Like I said, Monstrous, that 2-issue series, checking it out, Talk Stories, because I was able to grab the gold foil variant of this. And these poly bags that I like to use for my modern stuff don't do these covers justice, but this gold foil, how do you not grab that? That's pretty slick. $3.99, plus I still got my discount for a gold foil variant. God only knows what the print run on that's going to be. I mean, probably kind of high, but if for some reason it's not high, I have it. Now I don't have to pay $10 or $15 for it online if I wanted to get it. Speaking of print runs, speaking of stuff that's hot, Invincible is going to be making its way fairly soon here to the screen. Looking forward to that. So, and there was a gold foil variant, gold foil on the label variant of Invincible. We read this on Modern Men on the Comic Core. Very fun read. I can't wait to see how that story continues to progress and goes as I can make time to get into that. But how do you pass up a gold foil variant of what's a hot indie book? I mean, this is quickly becoming the original first print, quickly becoming a blue chip modern book, right? It's getting up there with Walking Dead and with some of the other modern books where it's a book to have and keep and hold on to. I think a 9.8 of that book's well over $1,000 now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Last time I was keeping an eye on it, it was $1,000 or more. I'm like, oh, I missed that wagon, missed that boat. But hey, I didn't miss out on that gold logo, Invincible #1 from the local comic shop day. Happy to add that to the collection. So like I said, I've read it, enjoyed it. It's nice to have that little variant there. Speaking of variants, that's it for Image. Moving on to Boom Studios. I got the second printing of Something's Killing the Children #10. Like I said, it's another one of those titles that Toidles? I'm thinking Turtles. Turtle Tuesday coming up next week. See Words channel. Check it out. One of those titles, all covers, all copies, all printings. I'm committed to all of them because the simple fact is Something's Killing Children is probably one of my top 5 reads month to month every time it comes out, and I really enjoy it. And I don't want to miss out because there's some printings of issue 1 and issue 2 that I missed out, and now they're hundreds of dollars raw. 6th printing of #1. I think it's a couple $100 raw. So I'm not going to pick that up unless that cycle comes back down and that price comes back down. But that's why going forward after issue like 2 or 3, I was able to get everything coming out. I think some of those printings were just under-ordered by LCSs, even if they had people asking for them. It just wasn't on the radar. But moving along, the last two issues here for local comic shop day is Lumberjanes. I wasn't in on this book when it first started. It's one of those situations where you hear from friends, Brian and Jack of Simpleman's Comics, and the Patreon group that we discuss comic books on Discord talk about it. We talked about Lumberjanes last year, the year before. It talked about it quite some extent, and everybody's like, this is really good. You should probably pick it up. And I'm like, it's one of those things where I decided to cut it and not read that one. Just because at some point you gotta trim the fat, so to speak. You can't pick up every book. And if you can pick up every book and it's what you like, go right ahead. I can't do that, actually. But with a super cool foil variant for issue number 75, I don't know what's going on in 75. I haven't been up with the story. I don't know if that it's a key issue or anything, but it's a foil variant. And if it didn't get printed very heavily, it might be something worth holding on to or throwing into a box or an A-OK for somebody that's really into Lumberjanes. Because at cover price plus discount, that's a pretty inexpensive pickup. Warlord, good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. We're at 16 minutes. I got one more book to go, and then I'll do a quick recap. What I was excited about, there were no extra copies. There was nothing sitting on the shelf waiting for people to come in and grab it. Something is Killing the Children #1 foil variant. Now, I saw this was readily available from a lot of places pre-FOC. There were a ton of places offering this book. So I don't know if the print run's going to be massively high. I do know what my LCS was able to get was just enough for the people that are pulling this title and able to fill those pulls, and they had no extras left for people walking in the door. The fact that they waited this long to do a foil variant for this cover is beyond me, because this is freaking sweet. This is absolutely ludicrously cool. It's the 90s in me shining out, just like this cover. I love foil variants. Not that they ever really get to be worth a ton of money. There are a couple out there, but good Lord, is that thing freaking sweet. Loved it. Once again, let me hit up this chat. Hey, Shop for Comics. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Everybody, find Shop for Comics. Sub him up. Share out his content. And I'm going to do the same right after this. I'm going to search his title. See if I can find his channel. Yeah, you got it too, Vincent? Hey, good to hear, man. Finally got your hands. Yeah, I did see that in the chat, actually, now that you mention it. You ordered it online before they sold out. Okay, very cool. I saw places across the pond even offering copies of that book for sale. One of my favorite places to buy from, Sanctum Sanatorum Comics over on the west side of Michigan, actually had that available as well. I know Nick from Slab Heroes was actually offering 98 copies of that book available on his website. Kind of want to buy one, but it's another one of those things where you got to trim back at some point. I can't buy every modern book that comes out. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers foil was sweet. I'm not the biggest Mighty Morphin fan, but you know what? I probably should have picked it up to gift to somebody. You know what I mean? It would have been a great thing to send off to Burke. Yeah, Burke would have loved that, man. Maybe Skeff will trade you for a 6 print. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know about that, man. That 6 print is mighty pricey, Vincent. But let me do a quick recap. Once again, thanks for hanging out, everybody. It's New Comic Book Day. It's time to get excited, read some books. I don't know about you guys, but I really, really do enjoy modern comic books, because to be able to grab something for $2 or $3 or $4 and get into that story month to month, get into something new and not wait for it to hit for a movie or a TV show or something like that. And I don't have to bog myself down with novels that take weeks at a time. It's original content in its finest, and I really enjoy it. Thanks for hanging out. Like I said, quick recap. That Lumberjanes local comic shop day cover. Yeah, that foil variant's sweet. Something's Killing the Children #10, the second print. I actually really enjoy the orange cover. Not quite a negative space variant by any means, but that is kind of neat. Monstrous, the foil cover. This is actually a gold foil cover. It's kind of hard to show up. It looks more silver, but it's supposed to be a gold foil variant. It might show up as more gold-like if I had it in a Mylar, but then because I was grabbing that, I decided to grab cover A to read. Pretty fun read. It's only a 2-issue series, so I'm definitely going to pick up number 2, see what happens in that one. Daredevil 24. Probably my favorite ongoing series with Marvel, time and time again. Even if it's not 100% action-packed and crazy, I really like what Zdarsky's doing with this storyline. X of Swords Destruction, 22 of 22. I could not leave this behind. Cover price plus my discount for a super, super sick cover. I can't wait to read this and see what this is all about. Love that cover. This is going to be my cover of the week, actually. Even with the foil variants, this is my cover of the week pick. My read of the week is going to be Daredevil. Multiverse Who Laughs, number 1. Adding that to the DC reading pile. Something's Killing the Children foil variant. Love it, but that X of Swords 22 of 22 is still going to be my cover pick of the week. You know how epic this is going to look in a slab? Good gravy. So much bling. Digging that. Really digging that. And all of these books this week at my LCS, all the shipping came in really well. All the books look in really good shape. There's, I think, a couple of off books, but nothing crazy. Invincible gold foil title. Couldn't leave that behind. As crazy as that book's getting over time, and it's just becoming a mainstay. Blue chip key book, if you will. Blue chip modern book, whatever they want to call it. Department of Truth issue 3. Super fun read. Like I said, there's some underlying crazy stuff going on, and there's some deeper meaning. Tinian's really got some deeper meaning in this book. But at face value, I really enjoy it for like the modern era kind of X-Files, 2 FBI agents solving some of these things. And the fact that if people put enough hype behind something and it's crazy enough, it could become factual in the world, like the earth becoming flat just because people think it's going to be flat. Pretty neat. I enjoyed that. X of Swords, cover A. X of Swords Destruction, cover A. Grabbed it for the reading portion of it. You know, I'm not going to open up that other cover that I got, but I am going to open up and read the cover A. Then Excalibur, number 15, 21 of 22 of X of Swords. Apocalypse on the cover. Good stuff. And then, of course, X-Men, number 15, X of Swords, 20 of 22. Those are my pickups. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. A little bit lighter of a week. Still, nonetheless, we're able to grab some great covers at some great prices. And that local comic shop day supporting our LCSs. Good stuff. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Gobble till you wobble. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I hope everybody's ready to stuff their faces and have a good time. Grab something cold to drink. Throw a pinky out. Enjoy yourselves. Take some time to yourself and your family. Hang out. Be thankful for everything that's going on, that's good in your life right now, and that's good in other people's lives. And I'm going to go ahead and say peace out. Pinkies out. Catch you on the flip side for the next video. And everybody remember the most important part, especially on the day before Thanksgiving, right?
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.